A few days ago I made a video about the properties of the Schottky rectifier here. It's a double diode, and the saying was in that earlier video that we have quite a high capacitance here between the pins of that Schottky diode. So it could be useful for to tune a radio coil. Well, here is that first schematic. Again, I want to give the link in the description. And I had quite good reactions on this video. And also one reaction from Hobby Rob in the Netherlands, and well, he told me that perhaps it's a good idea to do that circuit again, but then with another type of oscillator. That was not exactly what he said, but anyway, my conclusion was that the whole circuit could work better here with a field effect transistor oscillator, and this is that schematic. I have published this circuit also on my YouTube channel many times, by the way, and when you are a follower of my channel you will surely know these videos during, say, the past years, but well, I never did this experiment using this Schottky diode as a tuning capacitor. So here is that circuit again. I pen over somewhat first and then I want to show the whole schematic. Here is that Schottky diode. It's now connected to a field effect transistor, the BF256A. It is a field effect transistor that is not obsolete as far as I know. It works on 12 volts. I tried to get to 18 volts. Well, there was some instability, but anyway, 12 volts works okay. And there is an important coil here that is 470 microhenry. Of course, when you know something about electronics or you are a beginner, what does that mean? 470 microhenry. It was also in earlier videos. It is approximately 300 windings on a plastic tube of 2 millimeters in diameter. No ferrite inside, and that is, say, the coil that you need for this schematic. And I found during the past days testing this circuit that it can give out a bandwidth of approximately 1 megahertz. Say, when adding voltage via that 470K potentiometer to the middle point of the Schottky diode. So here we add voltage. That voltage is given via that 470K potentiometer. It's a voltage divider. It goes to the 12 volt. So here we have a voltage that varies between 0 and 12 volts on that middle pin. That's here. And perhaps it's important to tell that this was made for a certain frequency band, around 6 megacycles. Let me at first show that frequency band and the possibilities of that radio oscillator, and then especially of course related to the use of that Schottky rectifier. Switch off now all the lights. So you can see we have a very pure waveform. Has everything to do, by the way, with the use of that field effect transistor. It's now on 6.21 megahertz. And now I'm going to change that 470k potentiometer that gives voltage to the Schottky rectifier. Let's see what happens. So still a very good waveform. We are now on 5 megahertz. Turn that potentiometer again. And we are on 6 megahertz. So a bandwidth of 1 megahertz. And I did some calculations thanks to one of my followers. He told me perhaps it's interesting to do calculations, and I've done that. And the idea is that this capacitor variation goes between 100 picofarad and 300 picofarad. Well, that's a very good idea and a very good result. So when you add, say, a ferrite rod and stick it into that coil, you will surely see that the frequency changes substantially. Let me show it. Now that ferrite rod is completely inside the coil, I take it out here and I put it in. And the good thing of this circuit is that the waveform gets not distorted. In the earlier schematic it was a problem. Now it's no problem because we have used a field effect transistor. So now we are on, say, the lowest frequency that this combination can bring here. And of course you can do your own experiments when you are, say, interested in this circuit. So where are we now? We are now on 2.8 megahertz with the ferrite rod sticked in completely. And now I take it out. And now we are on 6.2. Well, anyway, I told that the bandwidth is approximately 1 megahertz. Well, let me show it. Of course, when you go to lower frequencies, the bandwidth that of the capacitor that bridges the coil, we are talking about a tank circuit with a parallel capacitor, has less effect, and I can show it now by turning that 470k resistor again. So here we see, say, the limited bandwidth on that lower frequency. Now we are on 2.3 megahertz and we are going to 2.8 megahertz. So a smaller bandwidth. But of course do your own experiments. This is a circuit that in a certain way always works when you are interested in radio technology, analog radio technology, shortwave receivers, etc., etc. So there's a very important thing here in this circuit, and that there are two capacitors. They form a capacitive voltage divider, and it means that for other frequencies here, you have to change. You must do some changes in these two capacitors. The capacitor that goes from the gate to the source and from the source to the minus. So when they change here, you can get to other frequency bands. And now I've chosen two capacitors that make that this circuit works in this way. Say between 3 megahertz and 6 megahertz. But for other frequencies you need other capacitors here and here. And I can show the schematic how to do that. Perhaps interesting. This is the circuit that shows how to do that. And here are these, say, different capacitors that you can switch in to get to frequencies from, say, 35 kilohertz up to approximately 12 megahertz. So this is that capacitive voltage divider, this set of capacitors, and also this set of capacitors. These are two switches. They switch on similar. So switch A to 1 at the same time. Switch 1A to 1 and switch 1B to 1, etc. etc. The switches are coupled. In fact, this is the complete same circuit that I've showed now. But it is, say, suitable for a broader frequency band. And the whole circuit is and was already on my YouTube channel in the past. I've used a BF245, but also a BF256, and that works. So, let's go to the circuit again, the schematic again. You can compare it to what I have taught. Here the circuit as it is. Here that ferrite rod that you can stick in and out, looking at the different frequencies. Well, always fun to see that, and that will be, say, the final part of this video. I take out the ferrite rod now and put it in, and the waveform stays very pure, and like I told, it has everything to do with the field effect transistor that is used in this case. And again, important, you can use the Schottky diode as a tuning capacitor. Thanks for watching.